Welcome students. I am Dr. Seema Desai Fernandez from St. Xavier's College, Mapsa, Goa. This program is for the Bachelor of Science first year students, subject Botany, semester 2, course code BOC 102, course title Biodiversity 2, Pteridophytes, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. Title of the unit is Pteridophytes, module name Vegetative and Asexual Reproduction of Selaginella. The outline of the module, it covers different types of vegetative reproduction in Selaginella, explain the method of asexual reproduction. Learning outcomes, explain the different types of vegetative reproduction in Selaginella, explain the method of asexual reproduction. This is the Selaginella, how it looks like. Let us start with the vegetative and asexual reproduction in Selaginella. Introduction. Selaginella is heterosporous. The sporophyte of Selaginella reproduces by vegetative and asexual methods. The vegetative reproduction in Selaginella takes place by fragmentation, tubers and resting buds. Asexual reproduction takes place by two types of asexual spores, that is microspores and megaspores. Let us see the vegetative reproduction. First is fragmentation. It is found only in species that grow under humid condition. Example, Selaginella rupestris. In this case, the trailing branches of the stem develop adventitious branches. These branches later get disconnected from the parent plant and grow into separate individual plants. Tubers. On the right hand side, this picture shows the formation of the tubers, that is the germination of the tubers is shown by the Selaginella plant. Formation of the tubers have been reported in Selaginella chrysorhizus and Selaginella abyssinica. The tubers bear rudimentary scales and appear towards the end of the growing season at the tip of the underground branches that arise from the base of the stem. This picture shows the underground branch where the tuber is growing at the tip of the branch. During unfavorable condition, the aerial parts of the plant die and the tubers enable the plant to perennate. At the advent of favorable conditions, the tubers germinate to produce a new plant. The third one is the resting buds. These are the compact structures which develop at the apical end of some aerial branches. Example in Selaginella chrysocollus. This is the diagram which shows at the tip the resting bud which is formed because of the compact structure at the apical end. The leaves in this region are closely arranged and overlap the growing point. These are the leaves which are closely arranged and overlap the growing points. The buds give off rhizophore that bear roots at their tips and fix them to the soil. This is the rhizophore which is given off by the buds and it grows long and fix itself to the soil. The resting buds survive the unfavorable periods when the rest of the plant dies. They grow into new individuals at the return of the favorable conditions. Let us go into the asexual spore reproduction. Sporophylls and sporangia. Selaginella is heterosporous and produce two different types of spores, megaspores and microspores. Megaspores are produced in megasporangia and this is produced in the axil of the fertile leaves known as megasporophylls. Microspores are produced in microsporangia and this is produced in the axil of the fertile leaves known as microsporophylls. The sporophylls are terminal structures which are loosely or compactly arranged to form cones or strobili. This is the diagram which shows the LS of the strobili. The strobili or the strobilus is showing at the tip microsporophyll. In its axial region, there is a ligule which bears the microsporangium and which contains the microspores. At the base, there is megasporophyll which is having in the axial ligule, and it shows the megasporangium which contains megaspores. Let us see the sporangia. The two kinds of sporangia, that is megasporangia and microsporangia, are variously colored and have a variety of shapes and sizes. Each sporophyll bears a single stalked sporangium situated in the axil of it, on the adaxial side between ligule and its base. Both megasporangia and microsporangia are stalked. In both cases, the wall of the mature sporangium is two-layered. The outer layer of the wall is composed of thick-walled columnar cells having chloroplast in them. The inner layer of the wall is composed of thin-walled cells. Just beneath the two-layered sporangial wall, there is a nutritional layer called as the tapetum. This layer nourishes the developing spores and persists until the maturity of the spores and thereafter degenerates. Let us see the microsporangia. They may be oval, ovoid, reniform or spherical in shape and varies in color from a red color to yellow or brown. It is smaller in size than megasporangium. The wall layers and the tapetum enclose a large number of microspore mother cells which are diploid and the last cells of the diplophase or the sporophytic generation. They undergo meiosis and form numerous haploid microspore tetrads. Microspores are smaller in size. Let us see the megasporangia. Megasporangia are pale or whitish in color. The megaspores mother cells found within the megasporangium are either pale, whitish or yellow in color. All the megaspore mother cells degenerate except one. Matured megasporangium is four-lobed. Each lobe bears a single megaspore. It is large in size and contains 4 haploid megaspores. These are formed by meiotic division. Megaspores are large in size than microspores. These are the diagrams. On the left hand side, the mature megasporangium shows the megasporophyll. Inner to that is the ligule which bears the matured megasporangium and it shows the megaspores. On the right hand side, the diagram is of the mature microsporangium. It shows the microsporophyll which bears the ligule and it shows the matured microsporangium which bears numerous microspores. All the species of Selaginella forms strobili or cones. Generally, strobili occur terminally on side branches. But in some species, example Selaginella petula and Selaginella cuspidata, the apical meristem of the cone may continue meristematic activity, producing foliage, that is vegetative leaves, and therefore produces a shoot with sporophylls, that is sporangium bearing leaves, and foliage leaves in alternate segments along the axis. There is variation in distribution of sporangia within the strobili of different species. Strobili either consist entirely of microsporangia or of megasporangia. Example Selaginella gracilis, Selaginella atroviridis. However, the mixed condition is more common. Now, these are the diagrams of the different species showing the strobilus. The lower portion of the strobilus consists of the megasporangium. In all three strobilus, the diagram shows the lower portion consists of the megasporangia. and the upper portion consists of the microsporangia. Example in Selaginella helvetica, Selaginella rupestris and Selaginella selaginoides are the two types of sporangia may be mixed indiscriminately. This is the rupestris where the megasporangia and the microsporangia it shows. In some species, one side of Strobilus bears microsporophylls and other side megasporophyll. On the right hand side, Selaginella in equilifolia shows the microsporophyll is arranged on one side and megasporophyll is arranged on the other side. In some species, only one megasporangium is present at the base of each Strobilus, while the rest are microsporangia. For example, diagram C, that is Selaginella craussiana, shows only one megaspore at the base. This is the diagram which shows that at the base megasporangium, rest all are microsporangia. Dehiscence of the sporangia. On the maturation of the sporangia, the asexual spores are liberated. The sporangia usually dehisce by a vertical slit formed in the apical region of the sporangia, and the spores are disseminated in the air. Summary: the sporophyte of Selaginella reproduces by vegetative and asexual methods. The vegetative reproduction in Selaginella takes place by tubers. Example, Chrysocollus, bulbils, Selaginella chrysorhizos, dormant buds, Selaginella chrysocollis, and fragmentation by Selaginella rupestris. Asexual reproduction is by the production of two types of asexual spores, microspores which are smaller in size compared to megaspores which are larger in size, megaspores which are large in size than the microspores. These are the references. Thank you.